Hello dear friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to show you how you can optimize JetPack, which is one of the most popular WordPress plugins produced and created by the same people behind WordPress.com and WordPress.org and many other plugins such as WP Super Cache and Akismet and some others. Let me just go to their website by automatic to just show you how they are, how popular they are. They are the people behind Tumblr, WordPress.com, WordPress.org, Akismet, which is an anti-spam solution, and Gravatar, which is another famous WordPress plugin and also WordPress functionality, and BodyPress, BBPress, and many others. So JetPack is really a cool feature, an all-in-one, or let's say multi-functional WordPress plugin, but you don't need to activate all the modules. If you're not familiar with that, let me just guide you step by step. In your dashboard area, just go to JetPack, hover the cursor of your mouse on that and select settings, and just scroll down to reach the bottom of the page and click on modules, and perhaps I can zoom in. Yeah, so there are over 42 modules, and this is really crazy if you want to enable all of them. And make sure you don't need them, you don't need all of them to just keep activated. And among these modules, actually I have just enabled 5 of them, and I'm going to give you a short description, an overview of each individual, and to give you some explanation to see if you really need them or not. The first one is Asset CDN, and this can just propagate your static files, particularly JavaScript and CSS, on their CDN, I mean WP.com servers, to just make your website faster, which is a good actually module, and I have enabled it. Beautiful math. If your website just is based on math equations, you need that. Otherwise, just deactivate it simply. You need to take a minimalistic approach, and if you don't need it, simply just jettison or get rid of it. Carousel, I think it adds some cool features for decoration, particularly about how images and photos are shown, and I don't need those visual decorations, therefore actually I just simply deactivate it. Comment likes, it adds likes to your comment form and also comments. I think the best comment form for WordPress is its own native form, so you don't need to install some further actually comment plugins. You know, you need to install a plugin if and only if you really need that. Otherwise, just get rid of it. Contact form, yeah, I don't need that, but if you really need a contact form, even actually I think it's much better than Contact Form 7, which is a very popular WordPress plugin, and I don't really know why it is so popular. And copy post, not needed. Custom CSS. So if you really want to just CSS stands for custom style sheets, and on those sheets you need you add some further codes to make your website more beautiful and add some designing features. So But remember, do not use that custom CSS and let's say overload this part by writing many codes, because this can slow down your website, particularly if you just use that custom CSS. Or just go to, let me show it to you, for example, on your website. If you, let me zoom out, yeah, go to appearance and then customize, and let me show it to you here. Go down to reach for additional CSS, and you can just write down your custom CSS, additional CSS here. But I don't recommend this feature, because it adds those custom CSS files to your database, and your database actually becomes little by little too heavy. A better and smarter solution to this problem, to this issue, is to install a child theme. My website is on JetPack theme, which I have loved for a variety of reasons, and it's so fast and reliable, and it has a built-in child theme, and you can easily download that and add the CSS or PHP codes to that without just loading them on your database. So let's get back on track. So do not use that custom CSS, as I said, because it just makes your database really heavy. Custom content type. So if you have different types of posts, you know, for example, on my website I run another type of post which is called glossary by CM Tooltip Technology. So perhaps I need that, but I have found another solution to the problem, and I have deactivated it. Enhanced distribution. What does that module do? It just propagates or distributes your public content among the other websites based on WordPress. So if you want to become more famous and popular, you can use that. Extra sidebar widgets. Yeah, it's a pack of other functionalities by WordPress. I mean, this particular module encompasses many other functions, such as adding social buttons, follow buttons, let's say, to your website, or adding Facebook page or Twitter page or Flickr. But I don't use them because actually they make your website really heavy and sluggish. So because these modules are definitely based on external JavaScript. Gravatar hover cards, and yeah, again, actually if you just leave a post or write something, so your profile feature appears in the form of Gravatar, which is another module or function by Automatic. But I don't need that because speed is so important for my website. Image CDN, formerly known as Photon, and this gives you this feature or the possibility of just serving your files, images, on automatic servers. But there are some disadvantages. For example, you cannot clear the cache of the images served on wp.com servers, that is WordPress servers. So that's why I have not I never decided to use this function. Photon CDN on Content Delivery Network. Infinite scroll. Infinite scroll refers to that functionality that when you reach the end or the bottom of the page, some further pages are automatically loaded, particularly on archive pages. So if you really need to just use this feature, activate it. But remember, it adds further requests to the page load, and it's not that good for SEO purposes or running a website, actually, in which speed is a very important factor. So I have not used it. JSON API, it gives you this ability to connect some applications to your WordPress website, and for example Instagram, I don't know, or some other, or if you want to connect your YouTube channel to WordPress, you can use that, as far as I know. But again, since I just want everything really simple, I have not used it. Lazy images, lazy loading images, it's a good feature, but I have not enabled it. Why? Because I use another plugin, WP Rocket Lazy Loading, that also supports YouTube videos. You know, my website is kind of also course casting website. It means almost every post has an embedded video from YouTube. So I need to just lazy load the image, the videos as well. So JetPack does not help me with that. Therefore, I use that plugin, WP Rocket Lazy Load, and it can also lazy load videos, iframes, and everything, almost everything. So therefore, I did not need this module by JetPack. Likes, it's not that important in my idea. Therefore, actually, I have not. This gives you this feature that, for example, the visitors of your website, that if they really like something, they can just click on that like button and it is liked, like something very similar to Facebook. Markdown, in my idea, another useless module, and I think actually it can gives you this drafting ability, that if you want to write something and it just gives a draft or creates a draft of that before publishing it. I'm not sure about that, but remember, if you just click on right click on these items and open it in a new let's say window, you can have further information about them. Yeah, you can read about markdown here, but since we don't have time here, I can skip it and you can do it on your own. So monitor, this feature actually this gives you some further information. For example, if your site goes down and you need to be aware of that, you receive an email, for example, hey, your website is down, and this is the main function of that. But if your website is on a reliable and robust host, for example SiteGround or WP Engine, you don't need to just enable this. Notification, so useless to me. Therefore, if you just enable it on the top right corner of your website, there is a notification icon, and for example, if somebody leaves a comment on your website, you get notified. But I think actually it's better to just use your email, or actually stay tuned to your email notification, because if somebody does something, or a post is published, or somebody leaves a comment, you just receive the notification via email instead of that. And post by email, to be honest, I don't understand what it means, but in the past I used to just acquire some information, and I noticed that it is useless completely to me. Protect is a very good and important feature or module of JetPack. It can just prevent bots and hackers from let's say brute forcing your login page. They just try to log into the backend area of your WordPress site, which is so dangerous. They can just add some viral codes, and they can just harm do so much harm to your WordPress site. So I think it's better for you to just enable this module. Publicize gives you this ability to just publish your new WordPress posts on social media such as Twitter, Facebook page and Facebook account, Tumblr, and these social media automatically. So you don't need to just do that. And again, actually, I think I can just do that manually instead of automatically, because I just want my website to be really fast. Related posts. Again, I have not enabled it because I have found another solution to the problem, and I have added some codes. I've just gathered and collected some codes to show their related posts in a better way, in a really better way. And I studied about related post module of WordPress, and I noticed that this makes your website really slow. So I don't recommend this module. Secure sign on or login. So this gives you this feature for your particularly visitors, particularly if your website is based on membership, and so your visitors need to log in to access the material. Instead of just social login with Facebook, Twitter, and Google, which are the most famous of all, you can also add login with WordPress. Okay, and instead of just creating an account with email and password, which is rather out of date these days. Sharing. JetPack can just help you to add social share buttons to your WordPress site, so you don't need to add other let's say WordPress plugins. So if you just have JetPack on your website, you can see that you don't need to install some or many other WordPress plugins depending on the needs and requirements. Shortcut embeds, the ability to add shortcuts to your website. Site stats or statistics. I never recommend this actually module, because perhaps this module makes your site slowest, in comparison to the other modules. This is terrible. It has a very negative or adverse effect on the speed or performance of your website. So never use this statistics. Instead, try to use Google Analytics. And also, for example, if the speed of your website is really important to you, you can use CAOS, Google Analytics, which is a cool WordPress plugin. It can just load the JavaScript locally, not from Google, and it can update itself again and again. Very good feature, very good WordPress plugin. Site verification. It can verify your site where if you connect Bing, Google, and Yahoo, I suppose, and Yandex, these giants of search engines, to your website. And I'm using Yoast WordPress plugin, therefore actually Yoast can do that for me, and therefore I don't need this site verification. Sitemaps, again, actually Yoast has provided me with that, so I don't need it. Subscription, I really use that, need that, because my website is based on membership, and my visitors or students need to stay aware of the release of the new post, and they receive notifications via email and with excerpts. And also I don't need to just overload the server or host of my website, because if you don't do that, your host will be overloaded and you're not aware of that. But JetPack actually does this trick very easily. Tiled galleries. Yeah, again, if your website is not based on decorations and visual aids so much, so you can just you can skip it very easily. WP short links. Yeah, I think it's another useless module, because it can just give you some short links, but if you really take care of the permalinks and the linking system of your WordPress site, you don't need that. And widget visibility. As I said, my website is based on membership, therefore I need to just offer some particular unique premium services to my logged in users, and this can give you this chance to just, for example, show some particular services only to those who are logged in, or only to actually some particular authors. So and it does not make your website really slow. And WordPress Toolbar, which I never recommend. So you see this, I'm using the free or basic plan of JetPack, and this is sufficient for me because I myself just create backups of my WordPress site automatically and even manually, and I don't need then another feature. And I try to take care of the security feature of my website from other perspectives, not just protect module. And yeah, let me give you an overview of the speed of my website on GTmetrix. Let me just run GTmetrix, and yeah, here it is analyzing the speed of my website, and you see it's really fast. Although my website has around 2,500 posts, 60 categories and 60 categories, and but hopefully I've been able to just lower the number of requests and also page load and page size. You see my website has just 126 kilobytes and also 7 requests, and it is fully loaded in 2 seconds, 2.2 seconds, and it is 100% optimized from page speed score and 91% from VSLO score. Although I don't actually use any premium CDN, my website is on Cloudflare, the free version of that, the free plan, and it is good enough. As you can see, the host is my host currently is on my website is hosted on SiteGround at this time. And yeah, I really hope that you will find this tutorial useful about how to use and optimize JetPack on your WordPress site. And also I'm going to create some further tutorials on professional blogging, particularly on WordPress. Thank you for your attention, and see you in the next lesson. Bye bye.